It's picked up.
It has.
In between the semifinals and finals, the wind really not a factor, but in the last 15 or 20 minutes, it's picked up quite a bit.
Rain not nearly as bad as the match you saw before, and I got it, you take it. That's right.
And wife.
The no communication play, ace for St. John, 1-0. This is the site of St. John Smith's 100th career win. He got it last year, of course, with Randy in Cleveland, a milestone. Straight up for Hov, and he puts it away cross court with a good turn. Side out goes to Hovland and Steffes. Smith Stoklos last week snapped a 3-game winning streak of Kirai and Frohoff in tournaments. That was the longest this year on the Miller Lite Tour.
Great comeback by Smith and Stoklos. They were absolutely dead and buried, down 8-2. Tim Hovland back to life after splitting up with his partner Mike Dodd, 6'4", 200 pounds, one of the great athletes ever to come out of Southern California.
Right there, and line, highlight.
And the Hov closes the door, straight back down in St. John, and it's 1-1.
Boy, Hov with a great blocking move. They've been resting a long time, staying out of the rain. Hov ready to go here in the finals, up and over early with both hands stuffing St. John Smith.
As Paul mentioned, St. John and Randy playing a lot of matches today, coming through the losers bracket. Hov's got it up. Another block. That's 2, and St. John's upset.
Hov getting off to a great start early, blocking both St. John Smith and then Randy Stoklos, not once but twice. A little bit of controversy in here. Here you see the end of the play, but the block before, Hov deflected the ball and then came down and did it in fact touch his cap on the way through. I think it did personally.
Yeah, that's what
I think Smith and Stoklos have a case, but the point's on the board, so forget it, guys.
Great cut by St. John Smith. Nobody does it better than he.
Side out, Smith and Stoklos.
St. John Smith has got all the shots in the world. Very difficult to play defense in the backcourt behind him. You saw Kent Steffes breaking left out of one corner of your picture and the ball going right.
2-1. The scoreboards here are not working. Good up by St. John. Randy puts it away.
Interesting action so far.
Points.
And on your screen, I'm sure those of you at home cannot see the intensity of this rain. And St. John Smith also intense on defense. Great up. Then Randy Stoklos reading quickly and hammering this ball cross court. Not only does St. John get to the ball, he puts the ball near enough to the net, so Stoklos can just rip it.
That time Stokey serves long, and the side out will go to Hov and Steffes.
Side out.
Smith and Stoklos were put into the losers bracket by St. John's younger brother, 3 years, his younger Andrew Smith and Pat Powers, who had a pretty darn good tournament themselves.
Well, they had a good Saturday. They had a very poor Sunday. They came out ready to blast through the semifinals, lost in the semis, and then went out and finished 5th. You know, Pat Powers playing with Andrew Smith was just dynamic yesterday blocking, and when he gets hot at the net, he can take over a match.
In fact, St. John and Randy were close this morning.
Oh, boy.
To being exited. In fact, Whitmarsh and Stevenson had him 14-11 before they came back.
14-11, Whitmarsh and Stevenson. Glad to see John Stevenson back on tour. Been out for a month with a serious viral infection.
Great up by Kent. Randy's got to go over with it. The tape works for Smith Stoklos.
We're seeing some great slicing and dicing here early in this final from both Randy Stoklos and St. John Smith.
And the rain comes pouring down a little harder. Last time Hov and Steffes took the court, it was coming down cats and dogs. There you see Hov just can't get to it. St. John back to serve. It's 2-2, Smith Stoklos. There's St. John, 6'3", 185, 33 years of age. The seasoned vet, as they say. And he's there for the defense.
Gotta come, gotta come.
Kent, good defense behind. Takes it easily. And right down.
Quick set and move by Hovland and Steffes. Low set in the middle, and Kent was able to get there.
As we look at this replay, let's reiterate the point. Both these players can block and hit and play some defense. It's a great combination, Hovland and Steffes.
If you take that athletic ability and put it in a bottle, maybe there's as much on that side of the court as any team now currently playing on the beach.
Nobody up. And Randy, some smoke at Hov.
Big bang by Randy Stoklos.
Not a bad move to fake block against Randy, make him think, take a look, particularly again in these conditions. It is really pouring down, and you've got to look at the block, look at the set, focus up. Randy Stoklos, 6'4", 210 pounds, 29 years of age, also from Pacific Palisades, California, plays at State Beach, as does Kent Steffes
91.
and St. John Smith.
91 career victories. St. John's got 110, and off ahead of Randy. Off comes the visor. Off of the Hov. It's 2-2. Stoklos Smith, Hovland Steffes. This is our championship final on the Prime Network from the Flats in downtown Cleveland. Little side out streak going. And that's going to sail way long.
Even though Hovland and Steffes won the winner's bracket and came into this as, at least on paper, the favorites, you got to lean a little bit towards Smith and Stoklos. They're looking very fresh, and they've been playing very good volleyball here on Sunday.
Since June 3rd, Smith Stoklos, Karai Frohoff have won every tournament. Now, in case you're just joining us, Karch Karai not here this week. He is at the Goodwill Games broadcasting. Brent Frohoff took Scott Akatubby as his partner. Great dig by St. John. Steffes gets another chance, and over Randy he goes.
Good shot by Kent Steffes, taking a good look at the block, getting a call from his partner, Tim Hovland, listening deep corner, creates the side out.
7 wins this year for Smith Stoklos, of course. Hov has 2, Steffes has 3. Together, this is their first tournament. Mike Dodd took a third with Dan Vrabalovich. The dig and the great play. Nice little touch by the Hov, hitting it over on 2, and it's 3-2 as we take the turn. Hovland and Steffes on top of Stoklos and Smith. You have to qualify that with, they're playing a lot more tournaments now.
Well, no question. The tour has clearly expanded, but St. John has been the dominant player throughout the course of the 80s, and as long as he stays healthy, he's now 33 years old. I think St. John could really play until he's 36 or 37 because he's paying his dues during the week in between tournaments and during the off season.
I think most of the players are paying their dues now. And it seems as though their goal is to play a lot longer maybe than they thought a few years back.
Well, it was like
I think the money has a little bit to do with it.
The money is absolutely it. You remember when the millions of dollars came into baseball?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, players were getting older and older as they continued into their career. And it was quite simply because there were millions and millions of dollars left on the table. And St. John's going to stay in shape and play as long as he possibly can. Mike Dodd swears he's going to play until he's 40.
Last year here in Cleveland, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos won the tournament. Hovland and Steffes up 3-2 over Stoklos and Smith, who were trying to wind their way through the losers bracket. Randy doing a little house cleaning with the tape, and now we're ready to go. Players taking a little extra time to come back out, back into the rain. But the crowd that is here, I guess maybe 400 or 500, has been loyal. They've been here all day. Randy uses the equipment. It'll be a side out to the Smith and Stoklos tandem.
It really is unfortunate that the weather has turned sour because it's a very unusual setting. We're in an amphitheater under a bridge in an old section of Cleveland that has been revitalized down on the Cuyahoga River. And yesterday, when the weather was a lot brighter, there were several thousand people here, and it would be a great sight, and hopefully we'll come back here next year on a little brighter day.
It was beautiful yesterday, blazing in the afternoon, as you saw during the bikini contest.
Go nobody!
Hov with the pound off the foot of Stoklos. Now, if that had gone over, it would have been legal.
Would have been in play. All parts of your body, your face, your nose, everything else are in play. Tim Hovland against no block, ripping straight down. Randy Stoklos choosing to retreat.
Open! That's a great swing. 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 That's a great swing.
Randy Stoklos' strongest shot is cross court, but you have to anticipate that. Hov will set up and take away as much of the sideline as he possibly can. Kent will try to get into good digging position so that he sees Randy inside the block and have a good opportunity to convert.
And as we mentioned, these players bump setting a lot more because of the conditions. Of course, Hov always does it. Cross court goes. Steffes. Randy a little upset that he didn't get more meat on that one. They've got a system here when they're putting the balls out of play, too, to keep them dry, which is really working well. You were going to say something about Kent.
Well, what I was going to say is that he's passing the ball well. When he and Karch Kurai would have problems, it was when Kent would not pass the ball accurately, but he's doing a good job right now.
You talked to him today. Does he seem nervous, do you think, playing with
Not at all. Not at all. He's very comfortable playing with Tim. I think the chemistry right now is strong, and why not? They've won every match they've played so far this tournament, and always winning brings out the best in you. And right now they're feeling very, very good and playing well.
St. John with the cut, and another side out. It is 3-2. Hov and Steffes over Smith and Stoklos.
Hey, we just want 2 balls. Whatever we started with, and we don't want to change that. Okay?
There's a 2-ball system that they're using now, as we mentioned
I like that ball.
a couple of times before. Normally, you start with the same ball, you finish with the same ball. But
and rightfully so. The players are very, very finicky about the ball. Again, beach volleyballs are a little bit different, each and every one of them, because of the inclement weather that we play in all the time. A little bit lighter, a little bit heavier, a little bit different feel.
Hov gets a second chance, and over and down it goes.
Steffes and Hovland continue to handle the ball well and give Tim Hovland 2 chances, and he puts the ball away off the top of Randy Stoklos. Tough serve down the middle from Kent Steffes.
Randy with the big swing. Was there a touch?
You hear Tim Hovland yell to his young partner, nice serving. And Kent Steffes creating some pressure deep middle against Smith and Stoklos.
No touch, 4-2. Back to serve, Kent Steffes. This will be St. John Smith. Off the block of the Hov. Side out. It is 4-2 as the wind now even picks up further. Sort of a crosswind, too. It doesn't appear as though it might be blowing a little left to right, which would, of course, give the good side to Steffes and Hov.
Downwind, the ball's coming to you. Downwind, it keeps a truer line.
You want to serve into that wind. Get that jumper working. Another side out. So both teams now getting into their rhythm a little bit. Points were coming easily right at the start. Now a little stingier. This is our championship final. $60,000 on the line, total prize money. Next week, Chicago. Then it's back to Southern California in 2 weeks. Seal Beach. Doesn't matter what the conditions, that set is going to come off of those hands sweetly from Randy Stoklos, and St. John puts it away.
Randy doesn't like playing in the rain. He sets every ball with his hands, but is so strong, can get the ball accurately up to his partner, St. John Smith, who is one of the best passers ever on the beach. Very, very good, consistent side-out team.
Come on! Get there! Line!
St. John gets it up, but once again, a good serve, and Steffes still with a pretty good pass.
Not a bad pass, and Tim Hovland, people forget, he's 6'5", so quick. Gets to that ball early, gets down low, and gives his partner a good ball to hit.
Hov, of course, through high school and college, such a great athlete, could have done a lot of things in the athletic world, as I'm sure almost all of these players could have. That time, a little heat on St. John's hit. We're going to take a break. It is 4-2. Hovland, Steffes over Stoklos Smith. Don't go away. We'll be right back to Cleveland after this. The Nautica stage in the flats in Cleveland play underway again, and the serve will go to Hovland and Steffes. They lead by a deuce. They are coming out of the winner's bracket. Smith and Stoklos, they've been grueling today. Randy, little touch, kind of reached back for that one to get it around the block.
Ball blew back over his head a little bit, but when you're 6'5", talented, and have great volleyball skills, you just take control and chop cross court.
You're giving him that extra inch at 6'5". I like it.
Maybe I'm shrinking. It seems like I look up at Randy.
No, anytime I stand next to you, though, I'm looking smaller. Here is Hobb with the good pass.
Go line. Ready.
Gotta come.
Line.
Touch on the block counts on the beach.
Way off for Hobb. Chance for St. John.
Come on.
Nice dig by Hobb.
Great dig by Hobb. And another good dig by Randy. Good rally.
Come here.
It continues for Hovland.
Excellent set by Kent Steffes to give Tim Hovland an opportunity to end that rally. Both teams playing very, very good defense.
That was a good point chance for Smith Stoklos, so they let get by.
Tim Hovland with the overhand dig, then the dig on the hard cross-court shot to Randy Stoklos. Then Kent Steffes, after the little pokey from Tim Hovland, with a nice set, Hobb able to put the ball away.
Now, no one.
Ooh, nobody in St. John just missed that one.
Boy, that one maybe a little raindrop in the eye, but he hit that one off his elbow. Every volleyball player's had that happen. Mistimed it a little and hit it off your arm.
And there was the rhythm being mixed up. They went back and they were not up on the block.
Tim Hovland waiting as long as he possibly can, letting him think that St. John Smith going to be taking away the cross court, taking away the line, and all of a sudden he's not up there at all. So he's occupying one of your short shot opportunities.
This time they go to Randy.
Steffes serving the ball very well.
He's just cranking it. Great up by the Hobb. Great set, and down it goes. Oh, what a set by Steffes. It was right on top for him.
What a great dig by Tim Hovland. Just sticks out an arm, goes straight up and in the middle. He says, put it up here, and Steffes dishes him sweet right near the net. Hobb, normally on the left, just powers from the right side.
Hobb is playing great defense so far in this final. It's 6-2.
And Steffes is serving well.
That time it's behind. Steffes. Good crank by St. John. They're down 2-6. Trying to win this game and then force a double final to 7, which, as I mentioned, there have been 5 this year, 1 being last week. Rain has let up a bit. Well, if Hobb doesn't put it down, Steffes will.
Steffes and Hovland right now are doing the things that winning teams do. They're helping each other. They're communicating extremely well. They're urging one another on. They're covering for each other. Hobb got blocked. Steffes goes over, makes the save, and then Hobb with a nice bump set. Steffes ends the rally from the right side.
And it really helps, I think, when you can switch off the blocker, too. It saves you a bit. And they both are so adept up at the net.
Ooh. Boy, Steffes was right there. St. John able to chop just inside and record the side out.
It is 6-2. Hovland and Steffes over Stoklos and Smith. And Randy will be back to serve. Little lollipop to Hobb. Cross court. Good turn.
Absolutely. Nice chop because Kent Steffes got a little bit tentative there setting the ball, kept it too far inside to Tim Hovland. He had to reach and reach and reach for the ball, was still able to put it inside the block of Randy Stoklos.
You're Randy and St. John. What do you do now to upset the rhythm? What do you do? Where do you go?
Well, what they always do. They just keep siding out and siding out. But right now, Steffes is serving the ball extremely well. Tim's playing good defense, and they're converting when they have an opportunity.
Another point chance. Will they convert? Did that go? It will be a side out to Randy and St. John.
And just when I'm talking about how well they've been converting, which is absolutely what you have to do against Smith and Stoklos, they blow a very important opportunity to go to the 8-2 side change. Again, the opportunity starts with a good jump serve from Kent Steffes. They get a free ball, unable to convert Kent Steffes from the left side.
St. John with the wind picking up, just wants to make sure that stays in. Hobb with the roundhouse, and almost a sensational play by Smith and Stoklos. But the side out will go to the Hobb and Kent Steffes. Leading by 4. We certainly hope you enjoyed our bonus coverage of the winners bracket final.
It was great to have that.
And we've got a bit of a side out streak going here again at 6-2. We got to 2-2 very quickly in this one. And since then, it has been all Hovland and Steffes. Boy, what a great cut by St. John Smith.
Just chops the just the side of the volleyball creates the side.
Gonna take a break right here. 6-2 our score. Back with more in a minute. Grinding couldn't quite get there.
That's just the shot in between. The blocker gets enough of the ball so he can turn around and have a chance at the second play. It's better if the back row player make that recovery if possible.
Now Kent trying to take advantage of the good side. He will just fire this one. This has been a major weapon for Steffes and Hovland. And once again,
Nobody!
St. John though with a great set from the back court to set up Randy for a pound.
Boy, that is a world-class side out. First of all, the jump serve down the line, very difficult to handle. But the key, the perfect bump set from 30 feet off the net by St. John Smith gives Randy the chance to power cross court.
Ball control and St. John Smith, one and the same.
Yep.
Going short now to Hobb. Randy taking away that angle. Not quite enough. Once again, another side out. We'll change balls. Just a drizzle right now. Although it's a cool drizzle. But I think Hobb and Steffes are very pleased to see the weather the way it is now than when they played Dodd and Vrabalovic earlier. Great dig by Kent Steffes. Chance. Yes! You know, I was going to ask you, Paul, how do you play? St. John Smith, he's got all the shots. That time right down the line, and Kent was there.
You've got to guess, and you've got to be good. Kent Steffes guesses line. Hobb takes away the cross court. Steffes makes the good dig. Hobb with an exceptional bump set, and then Kent Steffes showing you how much he's grown up this year on the tour. Nice little chop shot cross court.
7-2. As you mentioned, they're trying to get to the 8-2 side out on the good side, but St. John says, no, not yet. We want the side out. Randy Stoklos to serve. The MVP on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour the last 2 seasons. He and his partner, St. John Smith, 7 wins already this year. Down the middle, good dig by St. John. Back set.
Good set by Steffes.
St. John gets there. Randy with the cut. Hobb upstairs, yes! Good defense by both teams, Paul.
There may only be a couple of hundred people left here on the shores of the Cuyahoga River watching this Cleveland Open, but they certainly was worth the wait for that tremendous rally. Good scrambling defense set from off the net, and Hobb doesn't have to power hard to put the ball away at the end, chopping down the line.
7-2.
Boy, Hobb right now is talking to himself, knowing that he should have gotten that ball. If you can read Randy that he's going to hit low, hard cross court, Hobb was in the right position, just pulled his inside hand off the net a little early.
And with good reason, more emotion than we've seen from the Hobb in quite some time. Animated. 2-7. They're going to Hobb. St. John's there. Good save by Randy. Cross court, St. John gets wrong.
Kent Steffes and Tim Hovland doing a very good job of scrambling for side outs, and Hobb setting the ball pretty well. Not close enough near the net, I would say, but very, very consistent. Same range, and Kent Steffes has adjusted well.
See any fatigue creeping in on Smith Stoklos?
Maybe a touch in their overall game, but I think they are just sort of run into an emotional buzzsaw right now. Hovland and Steffes have been playing extremely well.
There's the problem arising again of which ball we're going to play with. Hobb is set to serve. Going to St. John.
Tight set.
Little too tight. And here's a chance to go 8-2. Hovland seemed to hesitate, but they get away with it.
Again, the wind picking up. The ball changes direction a little bit. Hovland and Steffes on a roll. 8-2 side change.
We will take the turn, and St. John and Randy got a lot of work to do. They're down 8-2. Just don't want all those little girls writing in telling him how much we miss him and not knowing where he is. He will be back next week. By the way, we had a lengthy rain delay here today as we give you a bit of a preview on what we've got coming up. We've got Chicago next week, then Seal Beach in 2 weeks. Still got part of the summer coming up.
Also a trip up to the Northwest, Seattle.
All for you on the Prime Network. I mentioned we had about a 2 or 3 hour rain delay. Jim Marico, the voice of AVP Volleyball, keeping everybody entertained while we were waiting for the rain to subside, and then we decided to play anyway. And we're going to get this tournament in. Here we go, back to the action. Our championship final, Hovland and Steffes up 8-2 on Smith and Stoklos. Up and over the top, a St. John Smith staple. And the side out will go to St. John and Randy.
Smith Stoklos, Randy Stoklos will serve.
Stokey back to serve. 8-2, let's see if the timeout works some wonders now for Smith and Stoklos. We were tied earlier at 2-2, so 6 straight for the team receiving.
Kent's doing a nice job putting Tim Hovland in terms of proximity along the net where he wants to be. Hov likes to set inside a little bit so he can hit hard cross court as well as chop back to the line, and Kent's doing a very nice job setting the ball.
Randy likes a little more outside push, doesn't he?
Randy wants the ball outside, although he, as he's gotten served more and more, he's seen the advantage of being set inside, so it sets up the opening down the line.
And there is Randy, a little inside, and Hov puts it right back at him and pushes Kent back and says, get back there and serve. It's 9-2.
Hov just hovering and swatting that ball down left-handed. The shot was there for Randy Stoklos, but Hov just a little too high.
I think that's the one part of Hov's game that really amazes Kent Steffes, how high and how much he takes away. Kent said he didn't have to do much in the back. He told you that during the break after the last man. A little too much heat that time for Kent Steffes on the pound by Randy Stoklos.
Randy just rips the ball high and hard cross court. You get a few opportunities to block Randy, and you have to take those because he's just ripping it.
Now St. John, they can let things fly a little bit more on this side as they are on the good side. Wind is come and gone, and now I'd say it's not nearly as blustery as it was a few minutes ago, but St. John still can jump it up. Off the touch.
No touch on the block. That's a score by Smith and Stoklos. No touch by Randy Stoklos. Kent Steffes.
That went right off the net.
The ball out of bounds.
Right off the net.
First mistake I can recall from Hovland and Steffes.
And thank you, Paul Sunderland. 9-3. Point goes to Smith and Stoklos. Make it 2 in a row.
Smith and Stoklos never, ever go away. They might make a few mistakes early, but if you're going to beat them, you have to earn it. And when Randy Stoklos is hanging around, he can score points in a hurry blocking. Randy Stoklos up and over the net. Kent had hit a ball out cross court, challenges again, gets stuffed.
With a sand timeout, we're going to take a quick break. With 2 straight points by Smith and Stoklos, they're back in it.
People keep asking me how it felt to be in the first Jamaican box.
5 feet off the net. Kent able to get the ball not only inside Randy Stoklos, but in front of the defense of St. John Smith.
Hobb trying to get that momentum turned back.
Right there now.
Up he goes with the block. Leave it up to the Hobb to get it going. 10-4.
You need a momentum change. You dial up the Hobb for a stuffed block. He blocks very well against St. John Smith. Here the Randy Stoklos call line. Hobb reaches out, stuffs the ball down for a very important point to 10. They lead 10-4. Going back to St. John Smith.
Can't let too many more points get away on the good side. Steffes for another point opportunity.
Nobody. Go, go.
Oh, what a shot by Randy. Great touch.
Good shot by Randy Stoklos.
Remember that play. If Hovland and Steffes can go to an 11-4 side change, I say this thing is over. But Randy Stoklos with that cut shot at the end of the rally gives Smith and Stoklos new life. Hov set the ball just a little bit too tight in order for Kent Steffes to put the ball away in transition.
That's out by a foot or two. Kent Steffes will serve. They lead 10-4. As we are near downtown Cleveland, a place called the Flats. A lot of entertainment down here, restaurants, things to see. This weekend, despite the rain, it's Pro Beach Volleyball, and we'll be in Chicago next week.
Right there, and no one.
Good dig by Steffes, and the set's right there, but St. John retaliates. Gotta go! Steffes stretched, but couldn't get there.
Remarkable play by Smith and Stoklos. Another point scoring opportunity for Hovland and Steffes. That makes two of them back-to-back, and Smith with a dig and Stoklos with a reverse flipper to the open court.
You're absolutely right. They don't go away. Hov and Kent got to be thinking about those opportunities missed. Steffes. Randy got a hand on it. St. John going the other way, a little off balance. Side out goes to Tim Hovland. And Kent Steffes. We are at 10-4.
Last time Hovland and Steffes were stuck, Tim went to St. John Smith, blocked him down the line.
Right there, and
Deja vu. No, he takes it, comes back, and was there defensively, but St. John had too much mustard. Out of the loser's bracket, Stoklos, Smith need to win this one, and then the double final.
Randy Stoklos to serve.
Good eye by Hovland. And Hov says back to Kent, give me something. No pressure at all, Kent. Just give me something.
Right now, he'd like an untouched jump serve ace right up the middle, get out of the rain for a second, and change sides 11-4 lead.
The battle, and Randy just touches it deep. So both teams mixing it up well. And
good shot and good read by Randy Stoklos. Kent Steffes was lining up right behind Tim Hovland. As he broke, got the good call from St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos with a pokey to the corner.
Hovland and Dodd broke up. There were some rumors earlier that maybe Smith and Stoklos would do the same, but they're still going strong. And so is Kent Steffes, banging that one down the line with the turn.
There aren't many players out here on the tour, maybe only Brent Frohoff, who can chop the ball to the line as well as Kent Steffes.
Just a great turn by Steffes.
Inside out.
And another side out. So now both teams in a rhythm. And Hov and Steffes had those two opportunities to take the turn.
Kent Steffes was hanging in the cross court and broke to the line. St. John Smith reads it and chops very sharply inside.
Randy with the win, really picking up a let this rip. Steffes going down the line. St. John's there. Good try by St. John, but just a better place by Kent Steffes, and they hang in.
Steffes and Hovland working very, very hard. Steffes groveling. Stokey with a reverse flipper going short this time, and Hov going, go, go, go. And it's one thing you absolutely have to do on the beach, or on the grass for that matter, when there are only two of you out there on the court. If you read early, you really got to break on the ball and help your partner get to it.
Let's see if they go back to St. John.
good. Right there, and
Hov makes the call, and down the line he goes.
Ball was good down the line.
It was. Hov said no, but it didn't make a difference. It was in easily, and Hov says, yep, you're right. Still at 10-4. This is our championship final here in Cleveland. St. John Smith won his 100th career tournament here last year.
down. Down.
Touch off the block of Randy Stoklos. High flat shot, as we call it, by Kent Steffes.
You know, going back to that 100th win, you asked St. John what it means to him. It says it means something, but of course the one to pass Ronnie Von Hagen was the one he really wanted. Got that many moons ago. Hov, of course, over the 50 mark in tournament wins in his career. Nobody up, and downtown it goes for St. John Smith.
If you're going to get St. John Smith on the fake block, you're going to need a little bit of luck. St. John has such good timing and control of the ball as a hitter. When he hears from Randy Stoklos, nobody up, he's either going to hit the ball straight down, deep middle, pick his shots. Very, very difficult.
We have hit a big side-out streak, and Randy can't rectify it, although he was there. Ken Steffes back again as they change balls. Just drizzling, bit of a fog rolling in over downtown.
It's not going to get better.
No, it isn't.
When you come to a site and it's a little bit drizzly or a little bit gray or a little bit cold, you think, oh, it'll be okay. It'll clear up. It'll be fine. But this has just been relentless.
You know, it's funny. That's what the players were saying during the rain delay. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry about the forecast. The amateur meteorologists. And at least they knew that they were going to play. Yeah, it's gray. That's the only way to describe it. But we're here and glad to bring it to you along the Prime Network. Make sure to write us in the Beach Volleyball Bag, too, this week with your questions and comments. We'd love to hear from you. Getting tons and tons of letters just by the stacks full. Very interesting. They're even mentioning you, Paul.
Thanks a lot.
I made sure to hide them from you, though.
You just send me the nasty letters.
Down the line goes St. John. We are stuck at 10-4, and St. John just working that line.
Most people think that St. John likes to hit the ball cross court. Obviously, he prefers it. That's what we call his power angle. But has got, again, excellent control of the ball as a hitter and can go down the line when he needs to.
Bobby Clark, the boss upstairs, says we're ready to play. Big block by Stokey on Ken Steffes. And Smith and Stoklos get back to 5. It is 10-5. The Hov and Steffes on top in our championship final here from Cleveland. Don't go away. We're going to now check our thanks to John Stevenson, that interesting report on the state of the AVP, and banging it long that time is Kent Steffes, and a point right off the bat for Smith Stoklos. Interesting thought about charging to see an AVP tournament. I'm interested in your thoughts.
Well, I think it's inevitable. Clearly, we're in a closed arena here today, fenced in, and they could have charged admission, and I think the same number of people would be here on a sunny day, and I think people would be glad to pay for this product. It's entertaining, it's young, it's a great game.
And right now, a great streak for Smith and Stoklos as they are coming back.
Yeah,
2 in a row, it's 10-7.
Steffes and Hovland need a timeout. They were up 10-4, had 2 good swings to go to the 11-4 side change, missed both of those. Instead, momentum switch. Here we are at 10-7. They need a timeout, and Hov, the experienced player, is going to take a 20-second timeout right here.
He knows you get a couple of points on me, I'm going to mess you up just a little bit, slow you down, and that's exactly what he's doing. And St. John and Randy will take a little walk. It is 10-7, Hovland, Steffes over Smith Stoklos. While we have a couple of seconds, I want to ask you, right at the beginning, we talked about the rumors, who's going to play with who, and you mentioned Dodd and Karch, and I promised everyone I'd ask you a little bit later about it. Do you think that might come to fruition?
Well, that's the team that I predicted would come out at the start of this 1990 season. I thought that had the potential to be a very, very good team physically and mentally. Didn't happen. Hovland and Dodd decided to stay together for the beginning of this year, at least 3/4 of it, and Karch went with Steffes to begin with. But I think Karch on the left and Dodd on the right would be a very, very good team. And you know, Karch is up at the Goodwill Games and taking a week or 2 off the tour, and it'd be interesting to, we'll just have to keep an eye on that. I wouldn't be surprised to see them play 1 or 2 before the season's out, and certainly I would predict that would be the team for next year.
And then again, you think the great chemistry the Karch has had with Brent Frohoff before last week. They had won 3 in a row. Oh, Hoff, straight down, yes, sir. And it's 11-7.
You can go cross court, you can go hard, but you cannot go low and hard cross court against Tim Hovland. He'll drop his hand in there and stuff you straight down.
They needed that. It's now 4 away from victory for Hovland and Steffes. Randy over on 2.
Some very weird vibes going on right now. I got to tell you, between Randy Stoklos and Tim Hovland. They were confronting one another pretty good between one of the rain delays, and I thought they're jabbering at each other a little bit.
Disagreement is a very soft word for what they had going a little bit before.
Yeah, and stupid me, I jumped between them.
Yes, you did.
These two big guys.
I'm telling you.
I should have head for the hills.
Here. Line! He's up!
Hov made the call, and it's going to cost him. Hov says, you got to listen to me.
You've got to trust your partner. And Hov made the good call, and then you heard him make it again late to try to reinforce it. And Kent just had his mind made up, and St. John was camped in the cross court. Steffes and Hovland paid the price.
Great example that time of Hov giving him the call, and Kent that time going the other way.
Another 20-second timeout called by Steffes and Hovland, really trying to slow the momentum down. They need a decisive side out.
All-time leaders in victories. We're talking about it. St. John Smith, 110. Stokey's got 91. And then Von Hagen, 62. And as we mentioned, that was many moons ago that Stoklos and Smith even, both of them, passed the great Ron Von Hagen.
Here we go. Here. Hit line. No touch.
Yes, there was a touch by Randy.
No touch at all. Thank you. Call the dog.
Oh, now they're going to change the call. And that's going to go out, and it's going to go to Smith and Stoklos, and they're going to take the turn. So the initial call was a touch, and then a changed call. No touch and out.
Unusual. Bobby Clark called the touch and then did change his mind.
Smith and Stoklos say, hey, we're off the court. Hov and Steffes want to linger a bit. Doesn't make any difference. It's 11-9. Back with more in a moment. Their parkas and their plastic bags because, ladies and gentlemen, it's gloomy, it's raining, but we've got some good volleyball going on. And Tim Hovland and Ken Steffes jumping out on top early, big. But St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos have been inching their way back, and it's now 11-9. And Stoklos and Smith on the good side. And they will be serving.
Hov and Steffes got to get their game back together. A couple of good side outs here. Hov needs to block a ball. And what they haven't done of late that they were doing well early on in the match was digging balls and converting. Who's ever playing in the back row for that team, depending on who's serving, Steffes or Hovland, has not come up with many digs of late.
And once again, those two opportunities to go 11-4 that Hovland and Steffes missed. Big swing right here for Kent. And he puts it away cross court deep. No chance for St. John.
Steffes and Hovland been outscored 5-1 during this run. I said they needed a decisive side out. Kent Steffes not only going high, hard, and deep cross court, almost bounces the ball outside this arena.
Our winners bracket champions, Hovland and Dodd.
No one.
St. John Smith again with a superb chop down the line. Hov choosing not to block, pulling back, and he's in pretty good position. St. John just makes a superb shot.
Line. There you go.
Pretty good set by Hov. And that time, Ken Steffes listened. I think Hov reiterated that point during the timeout. Got to listen to me, Kent. Got to listen to me. Side out, 11-9. And now Steffes will serve. Looking for his 4th win of the year. He's played with a couple of different partners. Karch Kirai, Dan Vrabolovich. Randy with the roundhouse.
You set Randy the ball near the net in the middle of the court. You give him both the cross court and the cutback action, and he is devastating. This time hard back across his body.
St. John goes to Kent Steffes. Once again, a good set by Hov. Now both teams digging in, looking for their strategy to get points, which will be hard to come by down the stretch at 11-9. St. John and Randy trying to force the double final.
Last time Steffes and Hovland were stuck, it came with a stuff block, the momentum change. Hov going back to St. John Smith,
where he's had some success. St. John's going to run it down.
And line.
Down the line, there it is, the stuff block. You called it, Paul.
St. John likes to chop line when he's in trouble. Hov listening, reading, frothing, getting way up over the net. You take away, seam, then reach out with a good strong hand and stuff the ball down. A very, very important point. They go ahead 12-9.
Good swing by Randy. Side out at 9-12. And it'll be St. John's serve. No, check that. Randy's serve.
He's going to jump serve as hard as he possibly can.
Hit the lollipop last time.
This one's going into the wind, probably go cross court to Hov.
Good pass. A lot of room out there, and Hov found it. Steffes and Hov.
It's great to see Hov excited again.
I tell you, this could be a fun combination right here. Already is. Right there, and line. Kent's there. Got to convert.
Excellent, excellent teamwork. And I talked about
A little mix-up at the start, but they got out of it.
Started out ugly and got better. Contact after contact. Little bumper cars in the middle of the court, almost husband and wife. And then Steffes takes the ball, eventually getting the good set from Tim Hovland on the side out.
Will the third time be a charm? Championship point. St. John again. Working hard. 9-14. And back goes St. John again.
14. Side out score, St. John Smith with the serve.
Put into the loser's bracket by his brother and Pat Powers.
Tight. Gonna
Very
have a joust.
tight. Joust won by Hovland. Very tight on the bump set, pushed up by Kent Steffes, and Hovland will go back again.
Tim Hovland passing the ball well off the net and up in the air. Steffes trying to just get him close with the bump set. Gets him too close with the push and the joust. Back and forth. Play goes over to Tim Hovland.
Conferring a bit with Kent Steffes. Randy taking as much time as possible. I do not think a timeout has been called. St. John looking quizzically at Bobby Clark.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Smith and Stoklos have used both of their full timeouts. They've taken 2 20s, and that should leave them 2 20-second sand timeouts remaining. I'm not sure if they were charged with one at that point in time or not. Championship point. Oh.
And St. John knows it, too.
Oh, yes.
Sort of turned around,
Oh, yes.
shook his head. Getting pretty tight that time, St. John Smith.
Kent Steffes was set up in the cross court, and if that ball doesn't hit the tape and drop nearer the center line, maybe Kent Steffes got a chance for the dig.
Using the equipment for all it's worth, and the ace down the middle by Stokey. And it's now 10-14, and Stokey stalks back. He's ready to serve another on the good side. They need this one, as you mentioned, Paul, to go 11-14 over at the other end.
Oh, nice call by Kent Steffes. Again, a dicey side out, not a great pass, not a great set. But the young Kent Steffes said line. Got it out 4 or 5 times, and Hov just chopped line softly for the easy side out. Another championship point.
And the horn goes off as one of the ships goes by on the river, maybe to signify our championship point. Yeah, we'll see. What a serve! Oh, Kent Steffes! And Hovland and Steffes are the winners in Cleveland.
Kent Steffes and Tim Hovland's ship just came in.
And St. John Smith face down on the court. Nothing you can do about that. St. John and Randy, a great